Meteorologist Dave Warren here, talking about weather from the desk. Um, Here you go. This is what we're looking at over the next few days. It's some cold fronts coming in next week, early next week. And temperature, wind, rain is one thing we look at with these fronts. But another thing that's pretty important is where the high pressure is going to set up. So sea level pressure, as we go into Monday morning, this is when this first front comes in, and high pressure is right there. So typically you want it over here if you want to get this cold air down to South Florida, but when it's right here, it slides over to the east pretty quick. Now you're getting that east to northeast wind setting up. As soon as that air comes off the ocean, it just doesn't, it warms right up. You're not talking about a big drop in temperatures. That's Monday's front. This next front, Thursday night and Friday, that's when this is over here. Now what we have is this storm developing here. Actually put that on there for you. Shrink it, it's not huge. Low pressure develops here, high slides here, and now you've got this perfect setup to bring that cold, dry air right to us here in South Florida. Wind speeds will be picking up. This is, zoom in and you can see, not that far. There we go. Here's the leading edge of the front, right over Lake Okeechobee, and whoops. So I have to go to Monday at 11. There we go. The wind's picking up. You can see the leading edge of that cool air coming down. It arrives overnight, Sunday to Monday, but then you've got this wind coming in right from the east there. So what you want is that wind to stay right over land, which is doing in Jacksonville, Daytona, curving over towards Tampa. That's where the coldest temperatures will be on Monday. And this is something that you can really see well with the temperatures. After we hit near record highs, Sunday, this will be Sunday, Monday front. Now you see the 40s, and then it gradually turns into the 50s, but look at what the wind is doing right here. It's turning to the east pretty quick. You just can't fight. Sometimes this north wind can actually fight this and keep it off the coast. I don't think that'll be happening because that's as cold as it'll get, 60s over the interior, and then the mild air comes back. Now, late in the week, now I've jumped ahead to Friday. Here's that perfect northwest wind, and this coming off the Gulf Coast, coming off the East Coast. That's the perfect setup to really get the 40s, push the 50s near the coast or even off the coast, and bring down some 30s towards Tampa. This is the wind chill, and this is with Monday's front, and this shows it perfectly. Now I have it set up here because this is a type of graphic that I use. I can show what's on the left side here on the floor, and on the right side I can actually show in a monitor, and it ends up looking like this. So you get the cold air, you clearly see where that cold air is, and then I put up the cold and the mild when the air stays over land and the air goes over the water. And I can even zoom in and control the animation here and go right into Interstate 4. That's the battleground. That's where we're setting up this cold air coming in, staying over land, and there's that little sliver right along the coast before you get more of an ocean air, ocean breeze taking over and keeping it cold. The wind chills this Monday morning, this is the perfect setup here. There's the line, 40 to 30 in Tampa and Orlando, right along I-4, and then that wind, it's not that the wind's going to die down, it's just that the temperature is going to be so much warmer that wind chills will be into the 60s. Now next weekend's front, jump over here, is the big one. This is something I've set up in Python. I can actually do some programming here, and I've set up a database where I can look at the record highs and lows for Key West, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami if I just enter some dates. Because the Fort Lauderdale or Miami record high on Saturday and Sunday is 84, and I don't think we'll quite be up to 84 on Saturday, but Sunday right ahead of that front, have a chance to have a near record high. It's not that it's so warm, it's just that 84 is a low range of records. The next day it's 87, the next day it's 86. And by the time we get to Friday, we're looking at record lows, 39. I don't think we'll quite be that cold. Maybe in the upper 40s, mid 40s possibly, but that's a bit of a stretch to say record low temperatures. If this program here looks at 1,850 millibar thicknesses, and it's a really good indication of temperature. If we look at what's happening in the morning, January 16th in the morning, and I just have to enter this code again if I can get it right, 4U1UO. You've got a, the session expired. All right, this takes a second. Hang on. That way you see what we're looking at. And if you want to check it out on your own, you can. So here we go to January 16th at 12. I want an overlay. I want the 1,000 millibar and 850 thickness, which is a good indication of temperature. And I want to show the wind flags because that's going to show me what's moving in. And now I have to change my code, VED 9ZK5. And now we've got a thickness of 133.5 or 1,335, depending on whether you use meters or decameters, 1335. And that's about a high temperature of 62. But oftentimes with the thicknesses here, if you look at what's happening throughout the day, because that wind is just bringing in colder air, and oftentimes this could actually be as warm as we could get. This actually overestimates on situations like this, the thicknesses, overestimates the surface temperature. Now, this is the 15th. This is the leading edge of the front. So there's just cold air coming right down. I need to go to the 16th. That was my mistake. 16th, VED 9ZK5. And by the afternoon, we're still only seeing a thickness of about 134.4. So we're going from 64, 134.4 to 65. That's the kind of day when you get this setup where you wake up in the morning, it's maybe in the 40s, and you really can't, maybe it doesn't even climb out of the 50s that day with that strong breeze. That's something that we'll continue to watch. Again, looking at everything. Next week I'll look at the chances of storms, and if you keep it here, I'll show you the graphics that we build and what I'll show on TV and some of the things that I look at. That'll do it for now.